Ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely love the Switch because there's such a large variety of games on the Switch from a bunch of different genres. And one of my favorite is 2D platformers. I mean, there's probably hundreds to choose from. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what I think are the top 10 best 2D platformers on the Nintendo Switch that you need to check out. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So this video is kind of hard to make for a very strange reason. When trying to think of 2D platformers, I kept running into metroidvanias, and there's actually a big crossover of both genres. Like some games I would think are 2D platformers, so I would look up the definition of that game or the description, and it would say metroidvania. So in this video I have 10 games that I think are not metroidvanias and that are strictly 2D platformers, but if they fall under the category of metroidvania somehow, just let it slide. I did my best. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would really mean the world to me. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. So the first game we're talking about today is called Tiny Thor. Tiny Thor features 16-bit graphics and gameplay, centered around leading our Norse hero through challenging levels filled with all kinds of obstacles. It offers tight controls, fast-paced action, and experience filled with nostalgia. So this game has a really cool premise. Your hammer can never miss its target, and everything has been carefully designed around this premise. The hammer can be freely aimed and bounces off surfaces and enemies, enabling all kinds of trick shots. Tiny Thor will feel familiar to retro fans, but also unique in its own ways. It features true 16-bit pixel art and an original soundtrack. Starting as a relatively simple platformer, Tiny Thor unfolds along the way, and you unlock all kinds of abilities that you dreamed of having back in the day. And I mean, what else do I need to say? You're Thor, but you're tiny. It's a cool game. It's a 2D platformer. You should check it out. So one of the best 2D platformers of all time now is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And I'll admit, when this game first came out, I was a little hard on it. I thought, it's cool. It's another 2D Mario game. They went the extra mile, so we couldn't say it was like all the other 2D Mario games previous to it, but there's something there. And I think I streamed it the first time I played it, so I don't think I had my 100% real thoughts wrapped around the game. I was kind of entertaining people, and I think I was being a little too hard on it. And then I went back and played it a week later by myself, and I was really enjoying it. And I really see all the work they put into the details and the gameplay and all the ideas they had. Not only is it this weird, wacky Mario game, full of gimmicks, and any which way you want to look at it, that's really what it is, a Mario game full of gimmicks. The gameplay just feels so good in it. And an underrated feature, which is probably really not underrated, is the multiplayer in this. The online multiplayer is amazing, because if you're playing a level, and somehow you die in the middle of a level, a random person can come and save you, and it just keeps it fun and engaging. I'm not sure what the future of 2D Mario holds, but for the time being, this is one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Now let's talk about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. When you mention the best Switch games of all time, let's just say the top 25 being conservative, right? This game will often come up, but that's the only conversation that gets around it. Yeah, it's one of the best Switch games of all time, that's it. You never really hear people talk in depth about this game. I think the problem is it was originally a Wii U game, but if you're like me and millions of other people, you never had a Wii U, so you never got to experience this there. I played this on the Switch. I love Donkey Kong Country. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This is a great callback to that, but in the modern times. And I think this is a perfect game. I'm not just saying it for the sake of this video. The gameplay, the setting, the graphics, the music, the platforming, it truly is a perfect game in my opinion. And it's very challenging, but in a good way, to where it feels rewarding when you beat a level. I almost wish we weren't getting Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on the Switch, because I don't really see the point, you know what I mean? This is the definitive way to play a Donkey Kong game on the Switch, and I just don't see the other game serving a purpose really, since it was on the 3DS as well, but I don't know. Regardless, this game is here, and you should definitely check it out. So what I'm about to say doesn't even sound like a real phrase or saying or even sentence. Or question. Will you snail? It sounds like I just had a stroke mid-sentence. You're like, will you snail? What does that mean? What the hell's going on here? Don't worry, I'll explain. Will You Snail is a fast-paced action platformer with an AI twist that offers unique single-player experience, a challenging adventure in a neon-glowing setting that blends combat, puzzle solving, and lots of humor together. You need to dodge AI-spawned traps. The evil AI squid tries to predict your movements a few seconds ahead of time, and uses that information in an attempt to stop you from reaching the end of the level. Will you win that intellectual battle, Or will Squid find yet another reason to make fun of you? A lot of the levels in Will You Snail are relatively empty by default. The challenge comes from the interactions with the evil AI. Solve optional puzzles, uncover the truth, explore, jump, die, repeat, and master all of the action-packed levels in this challenging platformer. This, in my opinion, not only is one of the best 2D platformers on the Switch, it's actually a hidden gem, and I couldn't figure out which video I should put it in, like a hidden gem video or this one. But I think this video is going to get the most shine, and I want more people to play this, so if you get the chance, definitely check this one out. Now let's talk about Sonic Mania. Experience the ultimate celebration of past and future in Sonic Mania, an all-new 2D Sonic adventure, running at a crisp 60 frames per second, with stunning HD retro-style graphics. Multiple playable characters give you the ability to go explosively fast as Sonic, soar as Tails, or power through obstacles with Knuckles' brute strength. You can relive the Sonic of the past, with an exciting new twist on classic zones, while fighting against new bosses and Dr. Eggman's evil robot army. I absolutely love Sonic, especially Retro Sonic. I'm actually wearing a Sonic hat right now. Whoa. Sonic is one of the best platforming games of all time, and it will always be that. Like, the old ones, in my opinion, are better than the new ones, and this captures that. So if you ever enjoyed Sonic, and you just want something new that's old at the same time, then look no further than Sonic Mania. Now let's talk about a game called Splasher. Splasher is a 2D platformer with unique arcade-style action gameplay, set in a crazy cartoon universe. You need to stand up to the paint factory's evil boss and save the Splashers. Your paint cannon grants you colorful superpowers. Put your skills to the test and face whatever the factory throws your way. Use different colored paints to stick to walls and roof, bounce high, and trick your foes. You need to master these challenging levels. Brave the traps and beat the gigantic factory security devices. Find the best path and get the best time in order to perfect the level. If I wanted to create just a fun 2D platformer, and like that's what it's all centered around, just having fun, maybe not groundbreaking, maybe not the next greatest and best thing, but just a fun game with great visuals, this is exactly that. This would also fall under that category of a hidden gem, but it doesn't have to be, and now you can learn about this game, and you can play it, and you can tell your friends. The next game we're talking about today is Katana Zero. Katana Zero is a stylish neo-noir action platformer featuring breakneck action and instant death combat. Slash, dash, and manipulate time to unravel your past in a beautifully brutal acrobatic display. Overcome your opposition however the situation requires. Deflect gunfire back at foes, dodge oncoming attacks, and manipulate enemies and environments with traps and explosives. Leave no survivors. Each level is uniquely designed for countless methods of completion. This game truly has it all. I bought this on a random eShop sale, and I couldn't stop talking about it. And apparently, I still can't stop talking about it. It's a very special game that is hidden inside of a 2D platformer, so if you get a chance, this is a game I can't recommend enough. Now let's talk about Yooka-Laylee and the impossible Lair. They must run, jump, and roll their way through a series of challenging 2D levels. Face a puzzling overworld, and rally the Royal Battalion to take down Capital B and his impossible Lair. Each level offers beautiful, rich visuals with detail and depth. Yooka-Laylee, and a whole host of colorful characters, good and bad, are in this stunning 2.5D platformer. Even though it's technically 2.5D, like 2D is in there somewhere, so it still counts. The overworld isn't just a hub to hop from level to level. Explore and unlock more 2D levels by completing objectives and puzzles. And the great thing about this game is almost every single eShop sale, it goes on sale for only $3. It's full price at $30. I think it's worth every penny, but if you can, just wait like a week or two or just a couple days even. And there's a good chance this will be on sale for only $3. And at that price, it's an absolute must buy. The next 2D platformer that you need to play is Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is a tough-as-nails platformer, where you play as an animated cube of meat who's trying to save his girlfriend, who appears to be made of bandages, from an evil fetus in a jar wearing a tux. Do I have your attention yet? Our meaty hero will leap from walls, through crumbling caves and pools of old needles, sacrificing his own well-being to save his damsel in distress. Super Meat Boy brings the old-school difficulty of classic titles and streamlines them down to the essential no BS straightforward twitch reflex platforming. I mean, at this point you probably know what Super Meat Boy is. It's one of the most beloved games of all time, and for a great reason. And this game fits perfectly on the Switch. It feels like it was made for the Switch. Especially playing handheld, it's like the best way to play this game of all time, and this game has stood the test of time for a great reason. So if you get a chance, you definitely need to check this out. And the last game we're talking about today is Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. So if I'm not mistaken, I think this game was originally on the Wii, and it was a great game. But for some reason when they brought this game to the Switch, not only did a lot of people not even play it, I feel like a lot of people didn't even know it came over to the console, or completely forgot entirely. And I'm not really sure why. Like maybe you just think if you want to play Kirby on the Switch, you're going to play Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and that is a great Kirby game. But 2D Kirby is where it's at, and that's where it started, and this is a perfect Kirby game. I really love all of Kirby's little abilities and how you make the enemies work for you in this. It has great multiplayer, and it really is just a quintessential Kirby game. But not only that, it's one of the best platformers I have ever played. The only pushback I have against this is it's $60, and you guys are like, yeah, no duh, it's a Nintendo game. But I honestly think that price point is why a lot of people kind of just pass this one off. So if you get a chance to pick this up cheaper, or if you just have the extra $60, regardless, you're gonna enjoy it. It's worth every penny, and it's a game that I just keep going back to and playing all the time, because there's just so much to do, and it just kind of sucks you in. Get it? Kirby sucks you in? You get it. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, these were the 10 best 2D platformers on the Switch. There were some other games I wanted to put in this list, but I think they were Metroidvanias. Their overlap is kind of insane. In the comments below, let me know your favorite 2D platformers or any games you think I should check out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you could. We're growing on both platforms, and that's amazing, so I would really appreciate a follow. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.